will I get kicked off my insurance if I am healthy now, but I develop a chronic condition later? We're going to talk about that today. A common question and a very big fear of a lot of people that come to me is, Alex, I'm healthy now, but what if I come down with something, a chronic condition that I need treatment for? What if it's terminal? What is going to happen to my insurance? Are they going to just kick me off of the plan? I'm going to run through a couple of scenarios to explain this. So the best case scenario is going to be having an underwritten private PPO plan that is underwritten and guaranteed renewable. There's some plans, for example, some of the ones that I specialize in, you can have until you're 65 and they're guaranteed renewable, which means that as long as you pay your monthly premium, they guarantee you that coverage. And so when you get diagnosed with one of these, horrible, unexpected crises, at that point, you want to make sure that you can get the care that you need. And you'll travel if you have to, you'll go to the best surgeon, the best doctor or hospital, the best specialist that does that specific treatment because you're trying to save your life. And so at that point, having one of these underwritten plans already in place is huge. And the thing is, and what a lot of people don't realize, is when you're healthy is the time to get it, because after you have the chronic condition, if you haven't enrolled for one of these plans and you try to after you have the chronic condition, they're not going to take you because these plans are for healthy people. But when you have a plan already in place, you can stay on the plan as long as you keep paying your monthly premium. Scenario number 2, let's say you're working for a company and you have your insurance through the company's group health plan. Well, if you come down with some kind of a chronic condition, it really all is going to depend on the severity of that condition and whether you are able to still work and be considered an eligible employee to keep the company's benefits. And you have to be eligible. Some companies require a certain amount of hours to do that, right? So if it's a really horrible thing that debilitates you, and let's say you go through all your leave and all your sick days and you cannot remain as an eligible employee, you're going to lose your company health coverage, not because of the condition per se, but because you're not able to work and keep your status as an eligible employee. If you can stay as an eligible employee, then you're not going to lose your health insurance. And let me go back 1 second, because I bet you're thinking, like, what happens if I'm not an eligible employee anymore? What happens to me then? Well, the good news is that you can actually keep your insurance plan through your employer through a program called COBRA. And COBRA allows you to keep the insurance for up to 18 months. But remember, you have to pay full price for it. And so at that point, your employer is not going to be paying it anymore because you're no longer employed there. So you're going to have to pay it. And a lot of times it's a pretty expensive option. So let's say COBRA is not a good fit for you. For a lot of people, it's way too expensive. The next option would be the Affordable Care Act marketplace. So the good news about the Affordable Care Act is that anybody can get insurance through it. So they're not allowed to take your medical condition or your chronic your diagnosis into consideration when you apply for one of those plans. They're guaranteed issue plans. You can enroll in them and they have to take you and they have to give you the same benefits that they would anybody else, okay? Now, the downsides to having the Affordable Care Act marketplace and being covered under that would be really that a lot of those plans have more limited networks and they give you less access to doctors and hospitals. So you're not going to be able to fly across the country to go to that specialist in that area like you would with the private underwritten plans, because it's not a true PPO. You're going to have to go to somebody that is more local, that's listed in the network of doctors under the plan. So we talked about the Affordable Care Act marketplace a little bit in the scope of if COBRA was not a good fit after you lost your employment, then you would go to the marketplace. The marketplace can also be used by individuals who are self-employed. So anybody can go to the marketplace. And so will it kick you off? They're not gonna kick you off. As long as you pay your monthly premium, they're not gonna kick you off. Marketplace plans will go in a calendar year. So what'll happen is at the end of the year, they have their open enrollment period and you can either choose to renew the same plan for the following January if it's available, or you'll have a choice of plans that maybe better fit your situation if you enrolled in the Affordable Care Act Marketplace plan before you were diagnosed, now your health needs are different, you'll have the ability to change to a different plan on the marketplace for the next calendar year. Another scenario is if somebody has a short-term plan. So short-term plans are tricky because they used to just be like 3 months, 6 months. Now they can be 12 months. Some of them are short-term and they're 3 years. And that's 3 years where the insurance company will guarantee you that coverage as long as you pay the premium. Now, what happens at the end of whatever term that short-term plan is written is you will have to renew. And so what happens with short-term plans, if they do underwriting, like a lot, like the full comprehensive ones do, they're going to put you through underwriting again. And now if you've already had that chronic condition during the time that during the short term of that plan, they're probably not going to take you again because, you know, they're not going to renew the coverage because now you're a risk to them. And so then your backup would then be the marketplace. I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight into what happens when you develop a chronic condition and, you know, you used to be healthy, but now you have a problem, and are you going to lose your insurance when you lose it and when you don't. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you shared it. And don't forget that you can connect with me at alexthehealthagent.com and also follow me on Instagram because I have a lot of other videos like this one. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.